We offer a random drug and alcohol test program to our clients. There's many different areas in our system that you have to go to that are related to randoms reports, and drug test resulting. One of the first areas that you want to go to is the client screen. So I'm pulling up right now A.D. Collins Sons, who is part of our randoms program, and on the main screen it shows randoms, and that's how we know that we have the right client. If we go into web account, this will show us who our contact is and that they do have a web account to receive electronic notifications and what email address they'll be receiving those notifications to. Okay, the next section is the Randoms Program tab. And under this section there's a DOT tab, a non-DOT tab, and an Import Data tab. This shows how many people are actually enrolled for this client. If you want to add a new person, you would click on here. We have the ability to search by name, first, last, or the social security number, or part of any of those. If they're not in, then you would add the ID if we have it, driver's license if we have it, first and last name, and an optional field for date of birth. Then we would select Add New. The Delete Persons function is grayed out unless someone is selected on, or if the entire list is selected, then Delete Persons can be done, and it does ask for a confirmation before it does process that. The next button here, Run, if we need to run a manual pull because we've had a problem with a pull, or if we've had to delete a pull because the client has requested it, we can run right here. If you click on Print List, it actually pulls up a list of all of the current employees, and it also shows a list of any of the deleted employees that were enrolled for this client. Over on the side here we have View. It currently says All Persons, and if you select here, it shows a list of all of the pulls that they have. Currently there's no distinction between 2012 and 2013, it's all just under one, so as we continue to go on, this list will get larger and larger. If you click on this, this shows you who was pulled and for what. In this case we have 3 separate people pulled, all for drug tests. And you can print the list, you can print the notification, you can clear the list, and you can submit the list. Once the list has been submitted, it gives you a date to show you it's been submitted, and if for some reason the client hasn't received it, we can press the Resubmit button once again. None of our pulls go out until Mark has actually gone through to submit each and every single one of these. In the non-DOT tab, if they had a DOT and a non-DOT pull, the non-DOT pool would show up here. Otherwise, they might have just a non-DOT pool or a DOT pool. The DOT has to have 50% of their persons drug tested over the course of the year, and 10% drug tested for alcohol. It has to be done at least quarterly, but it can be done more frequently than that, and that's per the DOT guidelines. The non-DOT, the client can select whatever they would like for the intervals here. The tab for import data, we've never had any success in actually uploading a file. At this point, it's pretty well useless for us. The next section that we go to is the resulting section. If we needed to look something up, or this is also what the clients see when they're trying to pull up their drug tests. If I again filter by client, it will pull up a list of everyone that's currently been resulted, and then if I wanted somebody who was recently in, I would click on their name and it would show the result, either negative, positive. It gives the details in here, and this is where we can update it. And here is where we're able to print it. And this one does show that it's a random drug test, so this one's correlated with the whole random program. The next section that we go to is reports. The resulting report is used frequently, and again, if we use A.D. Collins Son, we can select where the drug test was done, or if we want to pull everywhere, we actually have to check off this box. And if I want everything from the beginning of the year, I'm just going to select January 1st through today, and then hit Show Report. And this gives me a list of everyone who was here, what location they were at, and what their test reason was and the result. We'll have the breath alcohols and the drug tests on this list, and this gives us at a glance everyone who has been in. The randoms report is not very helpful to us at all. If we do search by client, it just narrows down what we're looking for. And again, if we just go with January through today, it's just going to pull 80 call-ins on. If we just click back out so we can refresh. Okay, and now we're back on the random report. This gives us a list of everyone in here. Unfortunately, these numbers do not always match up with what we're seeing on the client screen. I believe it's pulling the information from an incorrect area and is not very helpful to us. So we basically use it as a list so that we know who is in and at what frequency on there as well. The last section that we go to is the tools. We were using the client notification to see if anyone had received emails, because we've had difficulties with our clients receiving emails for quite some time. So again, if we go with AD call-ins on, we can see what emails they've received, and then it shows us here what the email was. One of the things that happens is at the beginning of each month, it lets people know that they need to double check their client list to see, their employee list to see if they have everyone properly enrolled. But at that point, we're already in the process of sending out the new pulls, so the timing on that is not very good either. And those are all of the screens that we use when we're working with the randoms program.